I'm talking about how the body cams operate. She wants to tell him there's a buffer, that the body cam mutes by itself, that it unmutes by itself. We clearly see...
Judge Weimer was really upset yesterday.
We clearly see Matthew Sermon unmute his fucking body cam when Mustapha is having a reaction, when they're talking about Dorothy, and he wanting to be with her.
Judge Weimer was really upset yesterday because Sarah Samie is telling Judge Weimer, who used to be a Prince William County police officer, Judge Weimer, Judge Carol Weimer.
Why mute it? Why mute it?
She's trying to tell him, that Judge Weimer was so upset. He's like, you mean to tell me that the body cams just automatically know when a situation comes up? I mean, he was so angry yesterday.
Look, I'll say this about the body cam and this whole interaction with Mustapha under fentanyl in the hospital. They were performing for the body cam.
Absolutely.
Okay. Why is Matthew Sermon, is that his name, Sermon or Surdam? I can't.
Surdam.
Okay. Why is Matthew Surdam constantly muting and unmuting? It's like he's unsure if he should be capturing the audio or not capturing the audio. And it's like when Mustafa's saying something, he's muting his body cam. He's constantly, his finger is on the little trigger. Okay. And then you have Chad Mason also muting and unmuting inside the room. Why are you muting and unmuting inside the hospital?
Because Officer Chad Mason, I've got a portion of a body cam where Chad Mason, the same officer that admitting to cutting and muting the dash camera, he tells Officer Matthew Surdam, make sure your body cam is off for all of it.
That's interesting. Did Sarah Samie didn't tell that to the judge? That they're specifically instructing other officers on what to do with their body cams when dealing with Mustapha. I thought she said there was a buffer, that this is automated, that the body cam automatically unmutes after a certain time. No, he's actively telling his fellow officer when to mute and not to capture something on body cam. Why not? You're performing for the body cam.
Absolutely.
And not only that, but you are performing for Sarah Samie. And that's why her communication is key to this case, okay? They're actively calling Sarah Samie and asking her for advice. What should we do in this case, okay? Chad Mason ripped out the wire to the body cam. He cut it. And he notified Sarah Samie, okay? We have to know what Sarah Samie told him to do after he did that. It's key. It's exculpatory evidence to the defendant and his attorney. It has to be released one way or another.
This is Chad Mason when he walks up to Robert Drum and he tells him, it's on camera. Now, this is the same Chad Mason that the police department, before they uploaded the body cams to the server, these body cams are cut into snippets. Portions are cut, uploaded. Some are muted. The original body cam is not there. So what's being uploaded to the server, evidence.com, the police department server, is edited body cams from Chad Mason and other police officers.
So they took his video.
They're cherry picking. They're removing anything that's incriminating against the police in this case, and they're uploading it to evidence.com. They're putting it in a separate file.
Anything that shows they were targeting Mustapha the moment they found out that was him in the accident. Anything to show that the police were actively targeting Mustapha in those videos. You're going to play this video. You have, I think, about 6 or 7 other officers that were recording on the scene, and their body cam captures
the whole thing.
The time when they come in until the time that everything settles.
Yeah.
Yet you have Casey Fine's body cam muted the entire time. Why is Casey Fine's body camera muted? What kind of buffer mutes for 45 to an hour?
Mohammed, obviously what they've done, they took that body cam, the police department, they took that body cam and muted it.
And by the way, Casey
and then uploaded it to the server.
The significance.
So that the prosecutor can, they're doing.
Here, listen to this. The significance of Casey Fine's body cam being muted, him out of all the officers on the scene, he's the only one with his body cam muted the entire time. And I'll tell you why. He's the one that told Robert Drum Mustapha's a drug user. Okay? He's the one that told Robert Drum Mustapha's a drug user.
He influenced the whole entire...
They began this narrative. The moment Casey Fines made that statement, Robert Drum says, wherever the fuck that guy goes, I want his blood.
I want to play that body cam for you.
Okay, now listen to this. Listen to this. You don't find it odd that out of, I don't know, 8, 9 officers, Casey finds is the only one muted? And I'll tell you why. Because he was going around to anybody that was a witness, he was telling them, this guy's a drug user. So whatever you write in your statement, don't forget, this guy did it on purpose. He was on drugs. That girl, that baby that just died, it's in your hands. You can take him out. And that's why his body cam is muted, because he's having these conversations actively with members of the community that were around when the accident happened.
So Mustapha is in a coma in front of his vehicle, laying on the ground. Mustapha gets in a vehicle accident. Mustapha gets in a vehicle accident. He loses his family in a car accident. He's in a coma. He's in front of his vehicle. I mean, on these body cam, you see Mustapha flat out of it. He's in and out of consciousness. At one point, he goes into a coma, then gets helicoptered to the hospital. While you have an officer that's going around, he mutes he tells the main investigator, knowing him, he's on drugs.
And he's laughing, by the way.
He's laughing. I mean, let's watch that body cam.
He's laughing. It's not like you say,
Do me a favor, go over to exhibits.
Oh, he was sensitive. He was emotional. No, he's laughing. You just saw a child in that state. You just saw a woman in that state and after an accident, a horrible accident, and you're laughing with the main investigator, creating manufacturing probable cause against Mustapha, who's laying on the ground, and you're going around to other people that said, "Did you see the accident?" Well, remember, this guy's always on drugs. I saw him on drugs a few days ago. He was out of it. That's what he's telling people. I mean, that's crazy.
Let's watch that body cam.
45-20, that'll be 3. I'm already here. And then Mason and Wilhelm are on their way. All right, sir.
I don't think you want me to take pictures while you do anything else.
No, we'll figure out where the bodies are going in a minute. Witnesses, anybody see what happened?
Yeah, there's a lady right over here in the black. She saw everything.
Okay.
I believe. This car is the at fault. This is the driver of that vehicle. Okay.
Thank you. So at fault so far. Crossed over what, oncoming traffic?
I'm not 100% sure. Knowing him though, it's probably drug related.
Okay. If that's the case.
Look, Mustapha is laying in front of his vehicle in a coma. He gets in a tragic vehicle accident. He loses his family in a car accident. Mustapha is in a coma in front of his vehicle. That's Mustapha, by the way. That right there is Mustapha. That right there. Let me zoom in. That right there. Here is Mustapha.
Oh, and Romero told the children that Mustapha fled the scene, leaving their baby sister to bleed to death? What's going on here?
You have
Are
officers
police actively abusing children in this case?
But Commonwealth Amy Ashworth wants to tell this community that she supports Jay Jones, the coming up Attorney General, because he's tough on pedophile. Well, Amy Ashworth is using a pedophile in this case. The ex-boyfriend, who says Mustapha doesn't even know me, admitted on a recorded line that he is a pedophile. Now, here in this body cam, Mustapha is laying in front of his vehicle in a coma. You have an officer that's influencing this case, telling the main investigator, knowing him, he's on drugs, laughing. Now, wait a minute. Then he mutes his body cam, goes around to every person that's on the scene and tell him, knowing him, he's on drugs.
He's a drug user. He's on drugs.
And Sarah Samie, I mean, when this came up yesterday in a Brady violation, Sarah Samie tells the judge, Your Honor, Casey Fines knows Mustapha from the Stafford situation.
She said from Stafford.
From the Stafford incident. Wait a minute. Well, let's talk about Stafford. I mean, isn't that what I've been saying for the past 2.5 years? That Mustapha is targeted because of the Stafford situation. Wait a minute. What is the Stafford situation? Oh, that's right. Mustapha was suing the police for $500,000 for entering our house without a warrant.
So hold on a second.
Taking over the house without a warrant, and then they turn around and say, oops, we accidentally came into your house. The fuck are you talking about? What is the Stafford situation?
I mean, they took
Sarah
over your house
Samie-
for 12 hours.
Mohammed, Sarah Samie is telling the judge yesterday exactly what I've been talking about for the past 2.5 years, that Mustapha is a target for the police. They targeted Mustapha for the past,
But she says
And then-
Casey Fines is in talks with Stafford County.
and then she turns around, and then she tells him when that didn't work, she turns around and she tells him, well, Your Honor, the reason that Casey Fine is telling Investigator Drum, that Mustapha is on drugs is because he found weed inside the car.
Okay, hold on a second.
Wait
Hold
a
on.
minute.
We're looking
Muhammad.
at the video of what he told him. Why did he not say right there that, hey, Drum, this guy is a drug user. I just found weed in his car. Why is he not saying that?
He said, I've interacted with Mustapha.
I mean, this video speaks for itself.
He was on drugs. Wait a minute. Mustapha does not have a history of being on drugs. There is no incident with drugs. This guy is making it up.
Forget all
Where
that.
are the police reports?
The prosecutor is telling the judge.
Where is your interaction with Mustapha that he's on drugs? You're just making that up to the
Look.
investigator to influence the case.
Look, this goes back.
Immediately, investigator Robert Drum, he's like, whatever the fuck that guy goes, follow him. I need a blood draw. And then you find out,
This goes back
I
to
circle
Sarah
back.
Samie's communication.
Muhammad.
What kind of
Muhammad.
communication did you have with Casey Fines? Where did you
Muhammad.
come up with that?
right here is before they searched the car.
Amar, he's literally telling him the reason why I say he's on drugs, not because he found something in the car. He's telling him, I interacted with him, and he was out of it. He wasn't
vehicle-
driving, but he was out of it. So where is that report?
Muhammad, exactly. That's at 6:56. Okay? The vehicle was searched at night.
That's right.
I have a body cam where the vehicle is searched at night, and what they have in the car is hemp. Mustafa's toxicology report show no drugs, no alcohol.